Whether you're just starting out with Home Assistant or you've been running it for a while, using blueprints can be a real time saver. I've got a number of videos on the channel featuring some amazing blueprints, and they've had great feedback from many people surprised by what is available, and they've asked me to feature more. So in this video, I've got 5 outstanding blueprints to add to your Home Assistant smart home. Hey everyone, my name's Simon and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. So I've been using Home Assistant for a while now and I just love the flexibility it gives you. If you want to write automations by hand, then you can do that. Create them via the UI, then that's possible as well. But have someone else develop something awesome that everyone can use, well, that's a blueprint, and I've got 5 of them today that will give you feature-rich notifications that I think you'll absolutely love. Now, if you don't know what blueprints are or where to start, then make sure to check out a link to my video in the description of this video, whereby I'll go through the details for you. I'll have links to all of the blueprints featured in this video in the description as well if you want to check them out. So the first blueprint I'm looking at is called Calendar Notifications and Actions. This has been developed by someone who goes by the name Blackie, and they've been mentioned in a couple of my blueprint videos so far due to the fact that they create so many great blueprints for the community. So show some love for their hard work and go and check out some of their blueprints. Okay, so if you're using the Home Assistant calendar functionality, then this is a nice blueprint to add to your toolkit, as it were. This is going to allow you to set up actionable notifications based upon calendar event triggers. So if I just add the blueprint to my Home Assistant setup, you'll then just see how comprehensive this is as a blueprint. First off, I get to set the calendar to be used and then what event triggers the notification. So if you want, you can trigger by a keyword or multiple keywords. So if you just want notifications for birthdays, for example, then if you create events in your calendar as, say, Simon's birthday, then just by specifying the word birthday as the keyword will mean that that will get picked up by this automation. You can specify an event start and end offset as well to have it alert you before the event if you want to do that, which makes sure you don't end up being notified of events right when it hits that time. You can also then specify what devices will be notified and how you want the notification to appear, and you've even got some special device specific options for iOS and Android mobile devices. You can, if you want, then set up actions available to perform, but I'm just going to set this up as a basic calendar notification for now. And as you can see here, it's just a nice simple notification coming through on my mobile device. It's worth noting, and it is mentioned in the blueprint page, that when you're first setting this up and testing it, that your first event should be 15 minutes or more away from when you've set things up in Home Assistant. Clearly, there are plenty of different ways you could use this, and I'm really just scratching the surface here with this simple notification. But I think this is a great addition to have to your blueprint collection. Okay, so next on my list is a blueprint called Contact Sensor Left Open Notification by someone called Molt. Now, they openly admit on their blueprint page that you could achieve this just with some simple automations and notifications, and they're not wrong. I have already got some of these kinds of things set up in my Home Assistant configuration. However, this blueprint sets out to give you, basically something with richer functionality that hopefully then saves you time against doing it yourself. And this is the thing with blueprints. Yes, you can do this via automations yourself, but in a lot of cases that takes time, trial and error just to get things right. With a blueprint like this, you can get these things set up quickly, and really for new starters to Home Assistant, or with those with little time, this really is what gets them, helps them get their smart home up and running as quickly as possible. Anyway, back to this blueprint. So if I just import it into Home Assistant, and you'll see I've then got plenty of options to configure this, starting with what is going to be the entity that triggers the notification. So that could be the front door contact sensor, for example, and then you've got the state that will trigger that. So that, that is the door that is open. I can then customize the time that must pass for the door to be left open before the alert is triggered, and then you can specify what devices are notified, and this can be one or more devices, which is kind of really handy if you've got Home Assistant on, say for example, your family devices, and you want everyone to know that a window or door has been left open on your house. You've got some other nice touches like being able to navigate to a page in Home Assistant when you click on the notification, as well as being able to repeat the notification should the issue not be resolved. It's an all-round nice blueprint that takes simple entity state and lets you build a more custom notification. I think there are multiple options and situations you could use this in Home Assistant. Well, let me know how you would use it in the comments below. My third blueprint in this video is one called AI Package Detection, and this is by Dave Neeland. Now, I'm sure some of you have probably got smart doorbells or cameras that can already detect packages, but for those of you that don't have that ability, then maybe this is the blueprint for you. Now, in order to use this, you're going to need to have Google AI installed in Home Assistant first. It's a simple process to do, and if you'd like a video about that, then hit the like button or comment below and I'll see what I can do. But if you've got it already set up, then you can start configuring this blueprint. Now, unfortunately for me, neither my doorbell or camera can see where the packages are normally left outside my house, so that's something to add to my to-do list. But if your cameras can see where you normally get packages that left, then this should work great for you. To start off with, you can specify multiple cameras that monitor the areas that you want covered, and then if you've got motion sensors, whether that's the ones in the cameras or maybe you've got standalone ones, you can add those as well. You then have the prompt that the AI model uses when considering if there is a package shown in the image that is given from the cameras, and you can specify the frequency that it checks those images, what devices get notified, and it can have multiple devices as well. And then at the bottom you've got some input helpers that you need to configure, which just kind of keeps tracks of things like the number of packages that you might have, whether those packages are still waiting to be collected, etc. And that's it. If you're using this blueprint already, then I'd love to know how it's working out for you. Let me know in the comments below, but this certainly looks like a useful one to have however your packages are delivered. Now, in a very similar vein, we have my fourth blueprint, and this is Intelligent AI Powered Notifications by Valentin Frick. I hope I've got that right. Again, this is one for using with cameras, and the idea here is to get those descriptive notifications that you may have seen shared around, describing effectively what the camera is seeing. Now, this blueprint uses an integration called LLM Vision as well as an AI model. Now, as I installed Google Gemini for the previous blueprint, I'm using that again with this one, but there are others that you can connect to if required, but it's best to install all of that first in Home Assistant before you get going with the blueprint, and there's some details and links about this on the blueprint page. Once you've got those prerequisites installed and imported the blueprint, you then get your configuration options. Now, the first thing to point out is the need to specify the run condition, which is required. That could be your camera detecting motion, for example, or a doorbell press. Whatever you need to start the automation itself, this must be specified first. You then configure the details about your camera, of which you can have multiple ones used by the automation. You then have the prompt that the AI model is going to use as well. You can change that if you want, but I would probably go with the default to start with and play around with it just a little later. You can then specify your device or devices that will receive these notifications. Again, you have the option to navigate to a page in Home Assistant on the mobile app if that's of use to you, and to top it off, you've even got text to speech available if you fancy having it read out to you as well. It's a really interesting blueprint, and if you're bored of reading notifications that say just someone has been spotted and you'd rather have something a bit more interesting, then this might well be the blueprint to try out with your cameras. And finally, for this video, we have notifications and announcements, again by Blackie. And this is an interesting one as a blueprint. It allows you to set up automations to basically send notifications to mobile devices and media players, all from one interface and at the same time. There's so many possibilities that spring to mind with this one. Once the blueprint is imported, you get a screen full of configurable functionality. So for example, what triggers your notification, It kind of looks a little daunting at first with the way that it's all defined, but once you get your head around the implementation, then it's quite straightforward. It's nice that you can have notifications appear from the mobile app or just within the actual user interface itself, which is kind of useful if you want them to appear in, say, an emergency situation, for example. You've then got your text-to-speech settings, whereby you can specify your service provider. Now, as I subscribe to Home Assistant Cloud, then I get the option here, and once selected, I can specify the media players to have that announcement played out to. And finally, for those that really like to play around with things, you've also got some custom actions that could be literally anything you want to perform along with the notification, which makes this a super flexible and configurable notification system. So there you go, that's 5 Home Assistant blueprints for notifications. There really is something there for everyone, I think, from simple pop-ups all the way to AI-driven camera footage detection. Which one is your favorite from the video? Let me know in the comments below. If you're using any of these, then how is it working out for you? Was it a hit or a miss? Let me know. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more of these, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help with YouTube's algorithm and lets other people get to see this video as well. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.